everybody, welcome back to my channel. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to pull the oil on. I'm a little ashy. Okay, so sorry about that. So over the weekend, I started back posting to Facebook when I said I wasn't, because I really didn't feel, I don't know. I just didn't want to anymore, you know, for a lot of reasons that I won't get into. But when I started posting again, you know, I asked the question, who wanted to learn about herbs? Now, granted, it's certain things that I can talk about freely and certain things that I can't talk about freely. Not that I can't, I just won't. Because it's a lot when it comes to the health of a person, depending on who you are, and what state your body is in. You know, as far as the well-being of your body. I mean, like, are you taking care of yourself? You know, do you have heart problems? Do you have cognitive issues? Cognitive meaning like, is your mental stable or unstable? And when I mean unstable, I don't mean that in like the worst way. You know what I'm saying? Anything can be balanced out with a dietary plan and, you know, vitamins and supplements. Some vitamins are they have a good potency. I'm not a huge advocate for some vitamins because certain brands just are doing things because that's what's trending. That's what's in. But most vitamins, excuse me, have their place. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. But if you have a well formulated remedy, you may not need vitamins. So one person who did, you know, respond, they told me they had some inflammation. And if you're new to my channel, I'm sorry, I just started talking. Hey y'all, it's me, Daddy. I'm an herbalist, and I also have a background in psychology as well. And the thing I loved about psychology, actually I changed my major. I was supposed to be a nursing major, and it wasn't for me. Like, it was not because of the caring part. It just was the part of that field is just like so greedy. It's about a bunch of greed. And that's why I changed my major. Like, I knew automatically in school, I was like, you know, this is not going to be for me because it's just not. I just seen a lot of things. And, you know, when you see things, you can't unsee it. Like, when I say see, I mean more aware. You just can't undo it. You can't unsee it. And it's just like, no, exit stage left for me. Like, because those would be my warning signs for me. I can't speak for nobody else. But anyway, welcome to my channel, Modern Day Confidence and Boutique, a tribe of transitional pieces. If I can talk. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about inflammation because it was requested and I needed something else to talk about. And I just didn't want to talk about, you know, obesity and heart issues. Being though those are the main two things that are very high in the black community, but it also comes from inflammation too, which is also the big corporate of as to why. I'm sorry, y'all. That looks so funny. As to why, you know, African American people have high blood pressure or have heart disease. It's because inflammation comes from mucus. Now, we already naturally have mucus in our body, but the things that we do as far as like I'm gonna name about 5 things: sugar, salt, alcohol, starch, and lack of exercise and sunlight. Now, sunlight, I don't know if it can help with inflammation. However, it's the source of an African American, a melanated person. Baby, get your sunlight. It don't matter if you get a little darker. Our sun, our sun, our skin absorbs the sunlight. Hence why a lot of us don't burn. We get tan. We don't burn. It's a difference. So if you minimize those things that I just named and increase healthy starches, omega-3 fatty acids. A lot of us don't take well to oil, fish oil. But if your body does, then you're at an advantage. If it doesn't, you can do hemp seeds, turn it into hemp milk. And I don't believe you need to strain hemp milk. It'll last in your refrigerator for about a week. You can do the same thing with walnuts and cashews. Almonds are really not that great for the digestive system, although they do taste good. And the store-bought stuff, 9 times out of 10 has yeast in it. Now, coconut milk out of the store, it tastes like coconut milk. It does not have a yeasty taste, but it has like a water-based taste. So those are some things that you can do to decrease inflammation. And when I say healthy starches, I mean squash, zucchini. Some people would say carrots. If your body likes carrots, then go for it. I used to love carrots. I still do, but it's not as much, you know. And if you are, when I say starch, I mean white potatoes too. Cut that stuff out. I mean, I'm all for a potato. Like I love potatoes. So, but instead of white potatoes, you can do sweet potatoes. If you are anywhere near a local farmer market that sells a Jamaican yam, those are even better. It's different from a sweet potato. It is totally different. It looks the same, but I think the vitamin and mineral content is way higher than a regular yam. So those are things, the first list. Those are the things that create inflammation. However, if you have inflammation, you know, in a particular area of your body, how can I say this? Specifically in the lower region, a lot of times that could be a circulatory issue with the heart. Not to scare anybody, but what you can do is, I mentioned this in I think the last detox videos. What you can do is start incorporating that second list. You know, the healthy fruits and vegetables. Cut back on your starches. The baked macaroni and cheese. I'm all for cheese, but listen, if you want to make a healthier or a better, not healthier, but better choice, and when I say not healthier, the vegan options in the stores, they come with their downfalls, but it is a better option, not a healthier option. And that is something that I don't do all the time, but when it comes to baking certain dishes, vegan, like listen, there's some vegan cheese out there that's good. If you guys want those are alternatives, please let me know. I'm not going to do it right away, but eventually I will get to it. If you want those alternatives, let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely do a video on like cheese alternatives, because I've had some disgusting cheeses and I've had some really good cheeses that I stick to now, and it basically, to me, it still gives that creamy consistency. It doesn't melt as quick excuse me, or as evenly as your traditional cheese that's, you know, packaged or whatever. But you put it in the oven, it will melt. And you know, put like some aluminum foil or aluminum pan, or you know, the pan over pan method. Don't act like I don't know, okay? It will melt. But it does have a creamy consistency without giving you that that flame reaction after. So that's that. But anyway, yeah, like I was saying, if you have a circulatory issue, what I've been doing for the past 3 days is watermelon. You can slice it, you can chop it, you can add key lime or ginger to it when you juice it. I put mine in the blender, and when I say detox city, okay? I'm usually a person who stays up all night because I can't sleep at night. But that, like, my body is shifting because I've been doing certain things. So if you have the issue of staying up at night and a circulatory issue, amongst other things, don't think that I'm not talking to you if you feel like you don't have these issues wrong with you or something going on with your body. But if you have, like I said, high blood pressure, obesity, things of that nature, small changes, cinnamon, healthy vegetables and starches, your fish oil of course you can get from seafood, and you can get from like things like salmon, hemp seeds. Like I said, research what was I going to say? Seafood, really, you ain't got to research it, but if you want to research. But like I said, salmon, I can't name anything else but salmon, but like Alaskan, things like that. The fresher the better. For those of you who live on like the coast somewhere, I think you have an advantage. I want to say things like codfish, yeah. Codfish, Alaskan. Me personally, when I feel like, because I'm no longer strictly plant-based. Now I eat plant-based, and I also eat pescatarian, but I don't do it every day. You know what I'm saying? Because seafood still has its drawbacks. For somebody of my blood type. Now, if you need a full blown out list of things like this, you can visit my website, moderndaynconfidence.com, and get the full list. It's not that expensive. And if you feel like it is, that may be you and your budget, okay? But it's a full blown out list for all blood types, and you can start there. But besides that, cinnamon, cayenne pepper, ginger, key limes, water-based fruits. So when I say full, about 4 or 5 things. So I just gave y'all basically like a list of don'ts or things to eliminate, a list of do's, and things that you can incorporate like ASAP rocket. Okay, you can go to the farmer's market or somebody who has a stand on the side of the road, because those are the best watermelons and they have seeds in them. That was my last point. Make sure that you have fruits and vegetables that have seeds in them. Non-GMO foods, this is a part of the don't list, have they don't have the nutrients in it. Like, how do you get a fruit or a vegetable that doesn't have a seed, or it's not grown from a seed? I want y'all to think about that when you're shopping for your fruits and vegetables. And they create inflammation, okay? I know a lot of us have a very restrictive lifestyle because of work, or we have a family to provide for or cater to, take care of. But you have to make time for your health and your wellness, because how are you going to get to the bag, or how are you going to get to a particular level in your life if you're not taking care of your body, your temple, your mind, okay? Because if your mind is not well, your body is not going to be well, okay? So again, the box teas in the store, if they work for you, they work for you. However, loose tea has a better vitamin and mineral, have better components. And the bags that they put the tea in is very toxic to the body. They are made out of plastic. For the most part, they are made out of plastic. So if you see somebody that sells loose tea, moderndaynconfidence.com, or another business that sells loose tea with high quality tea bags, then that will be more beneficial. Okay. So again, I'll recap. Inflammation, we already have mucus in the body, okay, and that is to protect the gut, to protect your organs. However, if we're adding to it with the alcohol, cigarette smoking, or smoking of any kind, because I don't want to be restrictive, I just want to be honest, and it's not being judgmental. Okay, we all have the things that we do and we rather enjoy. Alcohol, smoking, fatty foods high in salt and sugar, your McDonald's, your Burger King. I don't care if they say, well, they don't have trans fat anymore, but listen, okay? Even plant-based food is made with like saturated fats, coconut oil. But coconut oil is better than your peanut oil and your vegetable oil. If you are cooking with vegetable oil, stop. Please stop. It's very toxic. Canola oil, toxic. I know I'm starting to see a trend of sunflower oil, and I don't know the benefits of it, but it's becoming more of a trend in food and also in the grocery stores. I've seen a lot of it, and I'm starting to see less of avocado oil, grapeseed oil. I see a lot of olive oil. Do not cook with olive oil because it turns into a toxic. It's better served on top of the food once the food comes out, where the heat is not cooking it, or best used as homemade dressing. Okay, in homemade dressing, you can put your herbs and your fruits in there and blend it, or let it sit, until it has the flavor of that herb or of that fruit. And again, it's in the oil. If you're putting fruit in the oil, it may not last as long as an herb. So what you want to do with a fruit is that I think that'll last maybe like a week, no longer than a week and a half, because it has fruit in it. Okay. So again, you can also incorporate magnesium if you're feeling like you're tired, you're waking up in the middle of the night. So along with your cayenne pepper, along with because cayenne, it heats the body, but it feels good in an orgasmic way. It does. No lie. Cinnamon, it helps with your blood sugar levels. Even if you feel like you don't have a high blood sugar level, if you have inflammation, 9 times out of 10, just incorporate it. Okay, thank me later. Not the if you want the powder stuff, do the powder stuff, but I prefer the stick form. I don't know why. I don't know. I like stick cinnamon. Both of them will probably work best, but I feel like stick will last longer than the actual powder form. Anything in a powder form, it will last you 2 years. 2 years, okay? That's why I said I prefer something in its natural state. I think that's my preference. But anyway, like I said, you like what you like, and you gravitate towards what you gravitate towards. Listen to your body. If you eat something and it's making you bloating, gives you bloat, and it makes you sleepy, then that's a no-no. That means it's not digesting well in your body. That means ultimately it's staying there and it's moving slowly through your GI tract. So what magnesium will help you do is to level out your deficiency. It will help to increase those vitamins and minerals. But you don't. While I'm telling you guys this, I want you to incorporate everything. Don't be afraid to mix things. And when I say do your research, so that way you'll know that these herbs and or vitamins will mesh well together. Now, I know watermelon, key limes, make sure when you do limes, make sure they're key limes and not regular limes. Now, the outside of a key lime is acidic. Outside of the body is acidic, but once it gets in the body, it turns into an alkaline substance. So ginger is very soothing, and it's also soothing to the gut. So anything that is good to the gut is going to be good for the hoo-ha. Okay? Okay. Anything that is good for the gut is going to be good for the hoo-ha. So ladies, or if you're having heavy cycles, a lot of clotting, and this comes from the gut. If you're eating these starchy foods, heavy foods, things that don't agree with your blood type, chicken and the ribs and the pork and the beef, find a substitute. And anything that you take out, you want to put back in. The brand that I like to go for substitutions is I think it's DIYA or something like that. It's called Daya. I might be saying it wrong, but they have some really good substitutes for like chicken nuggets. I do not like everything that they have to offer. The meatballs is disgusting. It's disgusting. Just find you a bean recipe for meatballs, and yes, you can use beans for meatballs and beef. Now, what is it? Beyond Beef. Somebody told me to try it years ago when it first came out, and I was like, nah, I ain't doing it. So I tried it at a restaurant, and I loved it. I was like, I gotta have more of this. So when I feel like I want a burger, that's what I lean towards. It's not something that I have every week because it is rather expensive for it to be a substitute meat. So I go for that. Now I've tried to make bean burgers, and my recipe just did not come out right. So I'm gonna keep trying. Okay, I'm gonna keep trying because it's a whole lot cheaper to just make this stuff. It's not hard. I think that when people think of living a plant-based diet or way or lifestyle, it's not a diet. I take that back. It's not a diet. It's more of a lifestyle because you actually have to get in there and make it, and it's a whole lot cheaper. Beans are no more than $2. You know, if you buy it in a can, it's no more. Well, cans are expensive. Canned stuff is expensive. I seen that. I'm not even gonna talk about canned stuff, but it's less expensive just to. And if you think about it, if you make a pot of beans in a crock pot, you know, yeah, it don't take that long. Soak your beans for a couple of hours, or even overnight. Throw them in a crock pot. Let them cook for a couple of more hours. Season it. Put your bay leaves in there. Put your basil in there. Basil's good for gas and bloating. I've talked about this stuff before, you guys. So like I said, don't be ashamed to ask questions if you're trying to make certain swaps. A lot of I can't say I watched a lot of people because I was already in it, you know. And then I just, you know, the people who I needed were placed in front of me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that works. If you see somebody talking about diet and exercise and herbs and supplements, that just could be your sign that, you know, this is what you need, or not. You know, no, like I said, no pressure. I'm not pressuring nobody into anything. Whoever comes to me and asks me, just know it's a fee. It's a fee. I'm not giving anything. Like, I'm talking about stuff that's easily accessible, but outside of that, I gotta be compensated, you know, because it's a lot that goes into dabbling in herbs. I don't necessarily want to tell you something that may not work for you because I don't know what's going on with your body. And then you come back to me and say, hey, you know, I had to go to the hospital because of my blood pressure, or I had to X, Y, and Z because of whatever. Not saying something bad gonna happen, but I just need to know, you know. And I do have consultations, but right now I have my hands in a lot. So I took it down off the website. It's still there to tell you what's going to take place and what you're going to get, and the actual fee is not posted. For the most part, I don't think it's posted. But what the fee entails is everything that you're gonna need. You're not gonna walk away feeling like I don't know what to do, or feeling like I can't do this, or feeling like this is overwhelming and You know, I'm just gonna let the stuff sit. You know, you are definitely going to get your money's worth when or if you decide to work with me. So, again, flush that stuff out your body, okay? Make sure you watch, not to, I mean, you can watch the mental health videos if you like, because mentally, if you know something going on with your body and you keep putting mess on top of mess, it becomes an illness mentally, you know. And I'm speaking from experience. And a lot of times people do that because they don't know where to start. They don't know who to talk to. They don't know where to get the information from. And it's like when you know this, it's either you're going to keep going down the rabbit hole or you do better, you know? And that's not to shame anybody. I'm saying this from experience. When I was tired and done of what my body was doing to me, and basically I was floating. So I started researching, you know. I picked up this handy dandy computer behind me. Not this one in particular. I just picked up a computer. And I started to research. I started to do things. I started to change my diet. Started to change my ways, my way of eating, talking, and cutting out things that were toxic, you know. So I appreciate y'all that are asking questions, because not only does it help me to further research, it allows me to talk to people who are just watching again and don't really know what to say. They don't know how to begin their journey. So watch this video over and over again. Make you a list and make it twice. I hope that you enjoyed the information, and I hope that it helps somebody. Put some honey in your cabinet, okay? Honey has so many benefits, and a lot of things, elements, fruits and vegetables, vitamins and minerals that I named are very beneficial. They are very much antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial, antiviral. So if you have anti-inflammatory, so if you have inflammatory issues, you want to start with the basics. Start where you are. Get familiar with the season aisle, okay? Not just the traditional season aisle. Make sure you go on the Chinese, Korean, and Mexican aisle, because a lot of the Mexican stuff, Padre, has the bags. They got the bags of herbs, and a lot of people skip over that stuff because it's not your normal. And the normal is not normal anymore. So get unfamiliar with the normal and start exploring the grocery store. And I don't mean down the aisles, because most of that stuff is toxic. I mean outside of the perimeter and particular aisles, the ones that I just named, okay? So again, thank you so much for joining in, tuning in, for sharing, for subscribing. I see y'all. Thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate it. I really do. Hit up modelldayconfidence.com if you need a list, a full-blown out list for your blood type. Know your blood type, so that way you can start eating for your blood type. You do not necessarily need to cut out everything. However, if you have an imbalance, it's best for you to just start cutting out certain things, so that way you can flush the body out and then start eating for your blood type. It's going to take some work. It's going to take a routine. It's going to take some time for you to get there. But I guarantee you, once you become familiar, I would say anywhere from 3 to 7 days, you'll start feeling better. But once after that 7th day, don't start going backwards. Keep progressing on. When you go to restaurants, or just order sides. Order off the appetizer menu. They have really good options, you know. Nothing wrong with a little soup and salad every now and then, minus the bread, okay? I'll talk to you guys in the next video.